Hello, my name is Linky in YouTube, and I'm a web developer, but I'm interested in the watercolor painting, and I began to painting this earlier this year. Actually, I was so interested in the watercolor painting a long time ago, but I gave up because my motivation was just disappeared once I bought some materials at the time. But nowadays, there are a lot of good tutorials from the YouTube. Once I just watch some video, then all the good materials just introduced by the YouTube. So my motivation is growing every day, and my curiosity also growing. So, and then about 10 or 15 years ago, I live in New Zealand. The material was not good, and then only I should buy some materials in local shop, but that was very limited and the price was so expensive. So, but nowadays there are a lot of online shops and we can access. Even though I'm currently I live in the Australia, Sydney, but still it is not easy to access them compared with the other the Korea or America or China or Japan, Singapore. But Sydney, the delivery cost is expensive, and then delivery time also very long. But anyway, it becomes better than the long time ago. So I'm very curious of the material and want to know about the difference between each other. So one day I just searched the internet for the palette, and there are a lot of different options. So I bought them together, and recently I just received them. So I want to show you the comparison for the comparison. I think the other beginners also interested in this material. So yeah, that's I want to show first. Um, in the online shop, there are a lot of different model. The mainly that is known as uh, the mijello, the palettes. But I don't know that I bought it not from Korea. I bought it from China because the delivery cost is cheap. So I bought that. But this one is very same with the mijello palette introduced by the other YouTubers. The price, because I want to buy the original one, but even though the cost, delivery cost, the big difference for the delivery cost, so I bought this one. But I don't know the different, if it is different or not. Anyway, when I just tried the cyan blue, but that is very staying here seriously, and I just use this try. But anyway, I will just compare one by one. So at the time I bought some different series of the mijello style, or mijello, sometimes that is called the mijello palette, and it took about 1 month. So during the time I was so curious, so I bought this one that was cheap. So I bought two. That one is very traditional plastic palette, but still that is used to a lot. And I also bought some the Winsor & Newton Professional Artist version for traveling set. So that one is another palette. So I will just introduce the one by one for the details. I have that original. I had only one this aluminum or the melamine, or some people just ceramic or something. But that one is a 40 years old one. My sister studied art, so she started with this one. That one is made in Korea. I think Korea is one of the paradise for the art. All the material is very cheap. The quality is very nice. Even though that I think the some tube the Winsor & Newton paints I think it's even cheaper if we buy the Korea. So sometimes I just recommend all of you to travel Korea to buy some art material. Then you can save your airplane ticket and travel in Korea. And this one was made in Korea, and then at the time my sister just build up that the Shinhan paints in this order. So after then, I still refill the color, but in the same order of that time. So that one is a fixed original. But after then, I had an idea I don't want to fix the paints on the position, so I just made some my spoony palettes. But still, I like this aluminum palettes because this if I mix the colors here, that is very stable, and then the water is not just has no trouble. So I still I keep this one. That one is a 40 years old, but still sound and very nice. I love this tin one. If I have a time, I would like to buy a tin one again. And after then, when I ordered these palette sets, but it took a long time, so I bought it um, just temporarily. And this is just a traditional one. That one is the size is not big. This size is that one is aluminum about 30 centimeter. That is about around 30 centimeter, but this one is about 20 centimeter and 20 and 10. So that is a 20 and that is a 10. And this one is just a traditional one. So at the time I just play some the Indian paints, camelin, or sometimes camel or camelin, and I practice just I follow some tutorial from Indian artist David one, so I try to set the same order of his palette, and then I use them. So sometimes we are just to follow some tutorial for the artist. We want to keep the same sets and keep the same order because they just show their painting very quick. So it is very important. So at the time, I just follow this David's or Indian paints one. And after that, I bought some the Winsor & Newton professional the traveling sets 24 colors. I always in the previous video I always emphasize in our beginners palette should be applied in our the color fill inside. So I ordered a yellow, lemon yellow to the yellow tone green and green tone blue, and also the violet tone red to violet tone the blue. So I just apply this color fill. So the opposite of the yellow to the violet become the complement sets. So I ordered the orange tone yellow to orange tone red, and then I just ordered that arrange the neutral colors or some tints or the black one in the middle. Even though that one is a linear, but still I applied the color fill around one. So if you just thinking if you want to find the complement color, is just the opposite way to here to the here and the yellow to here. So that one is just the same with this aluminum tin. So very stable for the mixing color, and then you can check that's exactly same. So sometimes I use this one, and I bought them together. So I will show one by one. In the last video, I just showed how to set up this the palette according to the color field. So from the lemon yellow to the greeny tone of yellow, greeny green, and the greeny tone of blue, that is a cyan blue, and the violet tone red to violet, or violet tone blue, that is a cobalt blue or other ultramarine, and orange tone yellow to orange tone red. So it is also applied at color field. That is very important for the beginner. I always just keep that. So previous, I just to show this, introduce this the palette, DIY palettes. Actually, that was from the cosmetic tool, the palette, cosmetic palette. That one is a $1. So 100 or around, yeah, 100 10 to 10, 10 by 10. So the 100 cells about $1, including delivery cost. So sometimes I just cut this one and properly. So in this case, if I just set inside, I can cut them. So it is easy to make it to DIY. So it's very flexible. So there is a space limited, so I will just keep inside. So it is good. Yeah, so it's easy to fix inside, so then I can use this side comfortably. And actually this palette have some inner cell, so this one can be here, then just close it. So this is you can just mix the color from mix the color using this plate and this plate, so you can collect your paints and then flexibly move to other position, and if you add more, then you can using this inner cell or replace. So that one is my idea palette, and this is just blank one, so that one is same. But if you just arrange for some different one, or some if you follow some tutorial, but their arrangement color, the arrangement is different, or the set is different, you can apply it. The price was about, in Korea or China, it's very cheap, but the delivery cost is an issue. So if there is no delivery, but it take time for long, about 1 month or sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. So but price was, I bought them about around $10, around $10. But if you go to Korea to buy this one, is about just $5 per case. So I